Jon Jones defeats Stipe Miocic by a third round TKO and showed to be just way too good for this older version of Stipe, who, if we're going to be honest, was very slow out there. He had a hard time covering distance in order to land shots on Jones. Jones was just way faster, and there were glimpses of a younger version of Stipe could have landed some of these shots on Jones, like, for an example, this exchange right here. Jones goes out and throws a jab, which is one of the best weapons from Jones in the entire fight. But here, Stipe was able to slip on the inside of the punch, so getting his head to the left side of the punch, which opens up that side, and he counters with a left uppercut to the body. This is a very similar technique he was landing on Daniel Cormier as well. And at his older age, landing the shot on Jones was very impressive, and tried to follow that up with a right hand to the head, but the punch was just very slow. If this was prime Stipe Miocic, this punch most likely would have been fast enough to cover the distance and land on Jones as he's trying to lean away. Moments like that and various others shows that, a prime Stipe would have put a very good fight here against Jones. But throughout the entire fight, man, punch after punch missing from Stipe Miocic. Jones able to avoid most of the shots that Stipe was throwing with the same kind of defense that he uses against everybody, just posting his lead hand on the opponent's face or just toward their direction and moving away from them. Stipe was not fast enough with his footwork in order to catch up with Jones to find the angle to land his punches. And like we talk about the jabs, man, jab after jab, Jones was peppering the face of Stipe throughout the entire fight, and even at one point hit him to the eye, which Stipe probably thought he got poked, but it was in fact a punch to the eye, which is very rare for Jon Jones, usually the fingers. And from there, Jones able to land the right hand to the jaw and rock Stipe. Thinking that Stipe was hurt more than he was, it looked like Stipe may have played a bit of possum here. He backed up all the way to the fence from one side of the octagon to the other side. Jones tried to get the knockout. He throws a straight from distance, and Stipe was able to slip on the punch, avoiding it, and to Jones' surprise, gets countered by the right hand of Stipe with the same exact movement. So as he's moving his head to the left, he's also throwing the right straight, lands the shot on Jones, but it does nothing. Even the rare times that Stipe landed his punches, they did not hurt Jones whatsoever. He just didn't have the speed in order to deliver with that kind of power, because power is mass times speed, right? He had the mass. He was bigger than almost any fight he's ever fought in before, but he was lacking the speed in order to hurt Jones with those shots. And you look at all the moments where Stipe was trying to land his punches on Jones, it was kind of sad to see sometimes. It shows you that Stipe has definitely declined with not fighting for 3 years and being 42 years old. The greatest heavyweight of all time declining to the state that he was against Jon Jones makes us all thankful that he retired after. It's great that he got the payday and stuff for him, and he rides off into the sunset with his legacy intact. This fight does nothing negative on Stipe's legacy. But look at these kind of exchanges here. So he's moving forward, and Jones again pulls in retreat, lean and extend it as he's moving away, and he switches stances into orthodox. And Stipe reaches with the left hook, partially gets blocked, partially lands, throws the right hand in the squared stance, and Jones is able to deflect the punch with his left arm. Throws out another left hook, which doesn't even reach the target. Jones just moving way too fast away from Stipe, and doubles up on the left hook, which gets easily blocked by Jon Jones, and follows that up with a right straight, which hits the temple of Jones as he's moving away, which is going to decrease the impact of the blow, and then he runs away from Stipe, which I find this exchange really funny because it's almost the exact same image of when Alistair Overeem, former training partner of Jon Jones, ran away from Stipe in almost the exact same position. And Jones was evading the punches so easily sometimes that he would move into the power hand of Stipe. He would move into that side but lean away far enough where the punch would miss. This is extremely risky. And only Jones will do this if he's confident that his opponent just cannot hit him from that distance. He's one of the best fighters ever in the UFC when it comes to distance management. He understands range better than any other fighter. So he's able to do stuff like this and get away from the opponent's punches where most fighters would never even attempt that, right? Because if a shot like that lands, it increases the impact of the punch. And you look at here, Stipe squats, feinting at Jon Jones, and leaps in with a left hook, which Jones easily blocks, and keep his left hand extended and is ready to throw the right straight. But look what Jones does. He blocks the vision of Stipe. Literally, his hand is in front of Stipe's face, and he cannot see the reaction of Jon Jones in that split second. He throws the right straight and completely misses. Jones is leaning his head to the right side, keeping his left hand extended, and the punch goes under his armpit. But he is able to land to the body with a left hook as Jones is moving away, because Jones, by leaning his head to that side, he doesn't see Stipe at all. And Jones would sometimes use his offense in order to avoid punches. In his own unique way, the oblique kick stomps down at the lead knee of Stipe as he's trying to line up the left hand and right hand follow-up. But because his knee gets pushed in, he cannot move forward, right? Therefore, the only way he can hit Jones is if Jones sits still, which of course he's not going to do. It's a really good offensive technique in order to also get away from the opponent's punches, but you have to land that shot, right? If you miss the knee, you're kind of there to be hit. But what you can do is you can follow that up into a takedown, which Jones did. Jon Jones is so highly skilled, man. He throws a side kick to the knee, which misses. Stipe is able to move his leg toward the right side of the kick. This puts Jones in a risky position to getting countered, but he follows up with a missed side kick, uses that as a big step forward, and trips out Stipe over that leg to where he starts dominating with ground and pound. And even on the ground, he was so aware in the position that he needs to take in order to stop Stipe from trying to stand up. So look at the position here where Jon Jones, his legs are away from the cage, right? Stipe's back is closer to the fence. So Jones steps around to occupy that space so Stipe cannot use the fence in order to stand up. By kicking off of it, walking up the fence, Jones is stopping him from doing any of that by holding that position closer to the fence. But the thing is, Stipe barely even tried to stand up, even in moments that he could have. He instead wanted to throw punches off his back. In the position right here, there's not a lot holding him down, and he doesn't even close in the guard more, allowing Jones to easily step over. I mean, look at the leg here. That right leg is doing almost nothing from Jones stepping over into half guard. Just a complete mismatch on the ground. And when we talk about the spinning back kick to the body, Jones threw it twice in the fight. One time it missed, it hit the arm of Stipe, but the other time it finished the fight. Why did the first one not work where the second one did? He was in a different stance. That was it. Like, he just went into the opposite stance and landed the shot. So the first one he threw, he was in the orthodox stance, throwing the spinning back kick with his right leg. And Stipe was able to block the shot with his right arm, right? He curls into it, leans into the kick, blocks it on his arm. But the one that finishes the fight, Jones was in southpaw, throwing the spinning back kick with his left leg and gets right through as Stipe was trying to close in the guard, raising his knee and bringing his left elbow down. He tried to block the kick, but he gets through fast enough, landing to the ribs, dropping Stipe and finishes the fight. But Stipe had two good moments in the fight. One at the very beginning. Well, kind of. So this is one of the first exchanges in the fight. Jones ducks as he's feinting and throws in the left hand, which misses, but Stipe never really moved his head in order to avoid the punch. In fact, the way that he moved his head would have helped the punch land even harder on his chin, but Jones missed the punch. And he threw so much power in that punch, he overextends forward. Stipe puts his hand on the back of Jones' head and pushes him down. This gets him even further off balance. And off of that, Stipe lands a counter right hand, shifting, right? The shifting straight that he's so good with, landing this on Roy Nelson and various other fighters in his career, hit Jones to the side of the head. So that was a really good moment from Stipe Miocic. And the other one was landing the uppercut from the clinch. This is something that Daniel Cormier was very successful against Jones with. So when they got into the clinch, Stipe always tried to rise up with an uppercut. The reason this worked against Jones is because Jones wants to clinch up into the Muay Thai plum, and he dragged his legs away from Stipe, which is going to open up space up the center for the uppercut to land. And this causes Jones to lean forward, so he can't really go anywhere. He has to eat the punch. So great moment from Stipe Miocic. This happened a few times in the fight, and there was another moment where Jon Jones was the one that threw a left hook as Stipe was attacking. So the left hook gets behind Stipe's head, and Jones transitions that into a single collar, clinching up with Stipe, and Stipe yet again fires another uppercut, landing the shot on Jon Jones. Excellent moment from Stipe Miocic. But the thing is, Jones adjusts to that and counters it later almost in the exact same sequence. So again, Stipe is attacking, Jones throws a left hook, and it goes behind Stipe's head again. Jones transitions that into another clinch, this time gets the Thai plum, and attacks immediately with a knee to the body. He didn't bring his legs away, he attacked immediately and landed a big shot on Stipe. And throughout the fight as well, Jon Jones landing a bunch of body kicks, man. Front kicks to the body throughout the whole fight, just picking at Stipe with those long range attacks over and over again throughout the entire fight. And Jon Jones wins. Excellent performance from Jon Jones against a very old and slow Stipe Miocic, who was ready to retire. The way that he announced his retirement, it was like he already knew he was going to retire regardless, it seemed like. Or throughout the fight, he noticed that he just didn't have it anymore. But enough of the elder beatings. Let's do Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall. That's the fight all the fans want, and it's crazy they didn't let him go into the cage. Tom Aspinall was there in the arena, sipping his drink. Hello, John. I'm the champion as well. And it looks like Jon Jones is going to fight. And they're talking about Tom. They're talking about Alex. It has to be Aspinall and nobody else. So I hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown. If you did, make sure to give the video a like. Make sure to subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next video.